Who's that hot mama right there?
Oh, you can't film me. You didn't say that.
Dang. No wonder we have 5 kids.
No more.
What's up, guys? What's up? We'll wait for a few people to hop on. I'm going to be interviewing a couple that came into my program, and really young, cool couple. They're from Virginia, and they're married. Young, really super young couple, super awesome people. They remind me a lot of me and Patty, right? Been together a long time. They started a business together. I think he owns a trucking company. His name's Evo, and his wife's name's Taylor. I think how do I pronounce their last name? Patty, how do you pronounce their last name? Pereira. Yeah. So, what's up, Carlos? If you're just jumping on, you don't know who I am. I'm Chris Rood. I'm the #1 wholesale coach in the country. I teach people how to find heavily discounted, off-market real estate properties that you can either do a number of things. You can wholesale it, you can flip it, you can keep it as a rental. It's all kind of different things. So if you're interested in learning how to do that, that's what I teach. But we're going to have some of my students on here who did their first deal and they made $35,000, guys. 35 grand. That's a lot of money for the first deal. I made $2,500 on my first deal. So that's pretty incredible. Patty, let me know if you're coming on here, guys. Share and invite. I'm going to wait for, and give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Give me a thumbs up, post in the comments. We got about 9 people on here. We'll let a few more people hop on, and we'll get started here in a second. Awesome. Post in the comments though. Make sure that, because I don't know if I can see your comments. If I can't see your comments, I'm gonna have my wife come on the side of me with her phone. That way we can hear all the comments. So let a few more people hop on, and we'll get rolling. Evo, make sure you're on a phone device so I can add you, my brother. Let's see. Yep, right here. Let's add him right now. Oh, it popped off. Evo, it showed I could. Okay, I see that you're on. Evo, pop on, or hop off and hop back on, because it showed I could bring you on and it showed I couldn't. So you might want to log out and log back in, or just pop off the Facebook and pop back on. Let me check my settings real quick. Hold on 1 second. Make sure I'm connected to Wi-Fi. Make sure you're connected to Wi-Fi also. There we go. All right. We back. Sorry about that, guys. All right, let's bring on Evo. There we go. Now it's saying I can bring him. Patty, I'm gonna need your phone.
Why?
I can't see comments.
Oh, I just gave it to all.
No, go get his. Go. I can't see any of the comments. Go get your phone. Did you share it on my personal page?
I shared it everywhere.
Go get your phone. What's up, Kevin? What's up, Christian? What's up, Mr. Rosarero, Alexandra? Dude, I'm butchering your name, but I know who you are. What's up, Teresa? Let's see, Evo. Let's try that again, Evo. We might have to go. Let's see where you at. There we go. Add on Evo.
Guys. Yo.
There we go. You got some headphones?
Yeah, let me get some. Hold on. But, yeah, we're gonna have to connect to Bluetooth. Hold on.
For comments? That's all that's there.
What?
Why aren't you saying comments? Ernie says, hey.
What's up, Ernie? Evo, let's see. Go off and bring him right back on.
Are you on Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I just put it on.
Okay.
There we go. Evo, pop on and pop back off. Let me see if I can bring you on, and make sure you have headphones so it'll knock out that echo in the background. Sorry, guys, that's some technical difficulties, but we're going to get it figured out. We're going to get it figured out so we can hear how this dude made $35,000 in his first deal, right? Let's see. There we go. Oh, there we go. Now, guys, please share and invite if you're coming on. This will be a cool live.
Kevin says sup. Sup,
All right.
guys. Oh, man.
What's up, Kevin?
Hey,
Hey.
Sorry.
how are you?
Good, I'm good.
Hey, Patty.
Hey.
So, man, the man of the hour right here. So before we get started, tell us who you are, where you from, how y'all got started. Give us a brief background about you before we get into the.
All right. I'll try to make it brief because I could talk forever. So if I talk too much, you cut me off. So a little bit about us. We're married for a year. We've known each other for
Married for a year.
2 years, whatever. I'm sorry. I can't go.
It's actually 3.
But we've known each other for a long time. I've been in the contracting side. I used to be a mechanic. I then went into starting my own trucking company, which has taken off. And Taylor's a realtor. We've always said to ourselves, man, we really want to get into real estate. Man, we really want to go into real estate. And then we went to one of those, $1,000 seminars to sucker you in for a $60,000 program, which I then since I was following Chris Rood, I pitched like 10 people Chris Rood that I didn't even know. I hadn't even joined the Chris Rood's program yet. But I read through the bullshit of that seminar there. They offered like a $60,000 program. It was too easy. Night, whatever, you can make money whichever way. And then we was like, there's got to be something else. And I was following Chris, and then we kind of jumped on along Chris as his mentoring program and decided to do wholesaling and try it. We liked everything that, how it seemed and of the aspect of it. And for the past, how long have we been with you, Chris? For 5 months, 6 months?
4 to 6 months.
Yeah. So 4 to 6 months. I'm extremely busy in my business. We have a 7-figure generating business. So I'm running over 80 employees and people. So things are crazy. So we haven't been able to dedicate as much time, but we dedicated some time to finding a couple deals, and we found this one, and this was our first deal. And it's like we talked to Chris, it actually made it reality. It made it, we think, everybody, we get on the group and there's a lot of people doing deals like, man, why aren't I doing a deal? Or what's going on? Or what's happening? And we finally followed through. We followed the steps, what Chris kind of told us, doing this and doing that and talking to the people. And we were able to close our crazy $35,000 deal. We thought we were going to go for 50. And I think at the end of the day, we could have been in the mid 40s, but it was our first deal. It was an instant return on our investment. I took the personal coaching with Chris. It was an instant return on our money. I would do it time and time again. And here we are. Now it's reality, and now we know we can do it. And now we're going to take every single penny and dime of this, and it's going to go back into
marketing,
back into our marketing. How just repeat what we did with this deal. How do we do it, and what we're doing? And it's just been. Honestly, for me, after doing a very high grossing business, it takes me a lot of money. I actually did the math. What it takes me to net $35,000. And it takes me to gross over $150,000 to net.
Well, let's be real. Let's be real. You probably got maybe a couple grand in. Besides my if you take out the expense it costs to pay me to coach you, let's take that out of that equation. What cost you in hard costs?
So hard costs, we paid. How much was the list from REI?
I think it was $1,000 for the program that we did.
Yep, $1,000 for that, and
then cold calling Mojo is like $99 a month, so like nothing. So
let's say worst case scenario with our time and gas and everything of driving to the property, on the high side, $2,000.
Yeah. So
we have $2,000 invested to this deal, and we got out 33.
So you spend 30. You spend $2,000 and you netted, 33.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into. We netted a little bit less. That's right. Remember, we did that
double close.
It was this company that gives us all the investors. So they took a piece. They took $3,000 off the top for giving us. It's a hard money lender, and they use. They give us the clients, but they take a commission fee off of it.
And for our first deal too, I think it was just important to get, obviously, like our names out there and get to know a lot of people, and through that, working with them actually opened up a lot more doors in terms of if we have future deals, like people that we can reach out to, and obviously people that are buying constantly, like they're on our radar now.
And y'all are like 40, 45 years old? How old?
Yeah.
We're getting old, man. We're getting,
50. You missed the mark.
We're 25 and have these glasses given away. You know,
God,
intellectual.
25 years old, got his first deal. And guys,
and we have another one in the works right now.
We got to talk about that.
It looks like
if
another.
If you're just hopping on, guys, this is Evo and Taylor. Pronounce the last name?
Pereira.
And this is definitely possible, guys. You know, it ain't easy. You know, it's work.
No.
But the amount of, because I have a lot of, affinity for Evo because we kind of have the same background. He was a mechanic. I owned 4 mechanics shops at one time. And I know the grind it takes to make a lot of money. For me to like net 20 grand at the shops, I'd have to turn a lot of wrenches and have a lot of like problems, headaches. Not that this business doesn't have its own set of problems, but it's a different kind of problem. You can make a lot of money with minimal headache in wholesaling. I say minimal. It's still a headache, but it's just a different kind of headache.
No.
But tell us what it looked like, as far as the transaction, like how'd it go? Where'd you get the lead? Give us the background on that.
So I'll let Taylor start with the whole lead process, because really, like, I only came in when the deal was ready, and then to kind of help close. And so Taylor knows the whole background and everything, how it happened. So I'll let her get into that aspect of things.
Yeah. So we cold call. Well, I mostly cold call. I do that.
Calling queen over here.
I do that for my real estate business as well. So I'm used to getting on the phones and just banging out numbers and calling a bunch of people. So I happened to call and leave a voice message for a bunch of people that day, whatever. And I usually call like 3 or 4 hours a day. And I got a call back.
Wait, hold on, I don't mean to interrupt you, Taylor. Is that in between your competitive donut eating company that you have, the competitive?
Yes.
What? Oh, yeah. So what I do is for every contact I get, I eat a donut. So it works out really well.
It's a joke. It's a joke, guys. We have a running joke about Taylor because she's a little on the heavy side.
She's on the heavy side.
Getting hefty over here.
No, a little side note. Taylor and I got on a genuine argument because she said, you're fat inside the grocery store, because I was grocery shopping and said, I'm going to stay fat. So Taylor's now saying I'm the fat one. So maybe I'm the donut guy.
Because I'm passing all the donuts to Evo. But anywho, so so I cold call, and then I got actually a call back off my voicemail that I left from the daughter of the couple that we ended up working with. And she had called me and she had texted me saying, hey, my parents are in a really tough spot. If you could give me a call back, that'd be awesome. So I ended up we did phone tag for a little bit, but I finally got in touch with her. And she was like, yeah.
What list was it?
This was a list that I got from Ariat,
it was
high equity.
And then age over like a certain
owned
age.
it over 5 years.
High equity owner.
I forget what else, honestly.
High equity owner. And then we did like over 60, over 50?
50. I think it was 60.
Yeah, 50 or 60 plus.
But she had called me back and she was like, please help my parents out. Just like, if you could go and stop by the property and see, obviously there's motivation there, right? Because she's like bugging me to get out there. And I was like, absolutely. Like, we'll go out. It was a Saturday morning that she called me and we went out that afternoon. And when we went out there.
You went right away though, right?
Yeah.
That's a golden nugget, guys. That's what she just said. She didn't put time in the equation. She didn't say, I'll come see in 2 or 3 days. You went, when you heard that motivation, you went right away.
You go, right away.
Because, for people that, I think one thing we skipped, we live in DC, Virginia area, like some other people here. We're probably in one of the hottest markets in the country.
It's insane.
So, the people that do what we do, they're in a scale where they're doing 40, 50, 60 wholesale deals a month. They're very well known.
Yeah.
They're hitting these guys from all sorts of angles. So if we're not, I posted this deal in a bunch of these small little Facebook groups. And within the Facebook groups, 2 or 3 other wholesalers like, hey, do you see this deal? Like, they were also at the house.
Yes.
So like, they're like, oh, do you look at this thing, so they were
like, remember this one?
Yeah,
oh, look at this.
So like other wholesalers were there sitting on their couch like we did.
Yeah.
So there was, obviously the speed of getting there first. And also the customer service, which we'll get to that, was what kind of wrapped it up for them.
Yeah.
And then a side note, So, you know, the daughter, I'm sorry about this glare in my face. The daughter said, hey, this house is just really, it's too much work for my parents.
Yeah.
It's really old. They're trying to do a bunch of renovations. They're overwhelmed. So that was the motivation. Like, the parents are overwhelmed. They don't know what to do anymore. But what the daughter didn't know is that the parents were in pre-foreclosure.
Yeah.
So she didn't even know that
Right.
their parents. So when we got there, like, oh, you know, I see, you know, your daughter said this is a lot for you guys. And then you're like, oh, actually, you know, we're missing the second month. So that was even more motivation when we got there, that the daughter didn't even know about, that the parents were hiding from the kids.
Yep.
So that alerted more in us, you know, the readiness and speed and everything else. So I'll let Taylor hop back on.
Yeah, it was great.
So we went and saw it, right?
We went and saw it. We like walked around and we talked to them, and you could tell there was some like hesitation there, but like you had always said, like, creating and establishing that relationship is the most important thing. So we just took a lot of time to really get to know them and who they are and what sports teams they like to watch, and like just spent time with them. And so we got comfortable. We were there for probably a half an hour after walking through the house, and just kind of sat down with them, and we're like, look, like, how can we help you? Like, what do you need from us? And I think us opening up the conversation that way versus just asking them straight up, like, look, we want to buy for this and we want to do this. Like, they had other wholesalers that were in their house and other investors that were interested that they had, that they had already met with, but they were like, no one took the time to actually know our situation and understand what we're going through, because he's really sick. He's been in and out of the hospital. Yeah. And it's just like
a little side note, guys, like, don't, like, from my experience, don't go into it like you know, like blazing numbers, like, oh, what is it that you want? What is it? Like, when I walked around, the number one thing when he got there, he was sitting down watching baseball or football. So I took a side note that's what he was watching, was the skin. So every time I'd come back over and talk to him, I was like, hey man, like, you watched the game this week or what? Building rapport, right? Making sure that we're on the same page, seeing that it's a human transaction. At the end of the day, his emotions, as well as the money side, is going to be tied into this, but he'll tie his emotions to the deal. And so if he knows we genuinely care, hey, with the team, oh yeah, blah, 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 you watch the Super Bowl, blah. So I picked up that, you know, you notice, like, if there's something on the wall, pay attention as you're walking around. If there's a common theme, like baseball, a bunch of stuff, like, there's a bunch of themes that you can kind of pick, that you can make common ground with people and make sure you're relatable.
Essentially, it's a people business. Wouldn't you agree? It's not really a real estate. It's a people business. Right. It's a marketing people business. The piece of real estate is really just it's the product, but it's really not that important, because these people are in such, you know, most of the time you're dealing with these people, and they just want somebody to talk to. They want somebody to trust. It's a different kind of model, and Taylor can say this, and my wife can say, it's a different kind of model than being a realtor. It's a totally different customer.
It's so different.
They said she's a realtor. Okay. Everybody knows that she's a realtor.
That was,
and guys,
that was probably one of the hardest parts.
Share this and invite. This is really cool. $35,000 their first deal.
This can be you.
This can be, some people don't even make this. Some people make this in the whole year.
And by the way, Taylor's over here on the side. Like, when I talk too much, Taylor's like kicking me underneath the table. Like, okay, cut it off. Okay. So, but no.
She kicked me in the leg.
She's like kicking me under the table over here. She's like, Evo, shut up. Like, so, but no, I mean, on a real note, guys, like, I've been genuinely saying this probably since I was 18. Oh, I really want to get into it. I've known my passion. This is what it is, right? And I've really been saying it for so long. Like, oh, one day when I get the timing, or when I get this, or when I get that. This business is not that complicated. It's really not. I mean, if you don't have the money to go into the marketing, go door knock. Go look at some doors. It's uncomfortable. It's hard. But I think the real question is, how bad do you want it, and what are you willing to do? Are you willing to do and sacrifice, to get to where you want to get? Like, I don't really like a lot of things like that Dave Ramsey says. I'm not really on his motto, but one thing that he says is you have to live like no one else, and you can live like no one else. And sacrifice your time, go out, door knock. I mean, get the basic principles, right? Like, you can get some people.
Well, and getting a mentor.
And that's huge. Like, guys, and not to toot on Chris's horn and Patty's horn, but, I always wanted, like, oh, I want to learn. I said, okay, I have to find out who's the best. I saw that Chris, in my opinion, at the time, he was so, like, what he was charging to coach somebody was still undervalued to what I know what it's going to be, that I said, look, I'm going to go in. And I took the top, whatever the package that it was, and it paid itself in one deal. And side note, we have one other deal that's probably going to be a higher deal than this deal. So like the money, if you're willing to invest in the mentorship of, like Chris has done this multiple time and time again. He's still doing it. And for people that are watching, what I'd say is be careful when you're buying into something, who you're buying into. Make sure if you're buying into a coaching program, make sure that coach is doing what he's
Don't
coaching.
buy a guru, guys. Buy a guru. Like, buy somebody that's actually doing deals. This is what I do for a living. This is how I feed my family. And obviously, I'm a coach too, and I charge for coaching. But I actually do this business. Evo and Taylor, no, they went on appointments with us. They saw us negotiate. I mean, they came. They did the whole shebang. They came to my.
We got run out of a house.
Yeah, but you came to the house. You came. We ate crawfish etouffee, and we did the whole thing.
Yeah, and I mean, so we'll tie back into the deal. So we went and saw them, and honestly, guys, we had no idea. So we walked the house. We did comps. Taylor's a realtor, which is a plus for me. She knows how to pull comps, days on the market, how hot the market was. We had a basic idea, right? Yep. So we knew that at the time that the house was going to be worth, about 400,000. ARV was about 400,000. So we got that number, and with that number, we knew that that's the highest we could sell the house for. So when we walked it, we got a basic idea of, okay, what is it that we're willing to offer? And the house needed a lot of renovations. So we kind of went, and me personally, on my negotiations, I always ask. I don't give my number first. I always ask them, okay, like, I know it needs a lot of work. What is it? What is your number that you think you want to be at? Like, what is it that you think the house is worth? Because if you might have a number in mind, and let's say, even though it's really profitable, they might have had a lower number in their mind. So I always and people keep saying, oh no, you're the expert. I say, yeah, I mean, I'm the expert, but I'd like to pay $1 for it. That is profit. I mean, at the end of the day, I'd like to get it for nothing. So, but that's offensive to you. So tell me your number. So I just keep beating on that drum in different ways until they
have a video in the program that actually teaches negotiation skills back and forth. So y'all know that exactly what Chris says. We even talked to Ben about it and did a coaching call on that. So negotiations is a huge part of the course. So he was talking
and that's
ask them first what they want to get before he spits out a number.
That's great. That's great. So you kind of got to frame the call, guys. You got to know where they at on it, what they want to get, what they owe on it, how much work it needs. But we teach and train you how to do that. But don't be wrong. Evo is not your typical entrepreneur that's just getting started. Like, the guy's got an 8-figure business already. He knows how to run an operation, because you got to be honest with you. You got to be an entrepreneur to do this. Like, I'm not saying you can't come from a job and then do this, because you never, I'm not saying that you can't, that you have to run a business and then come here to be successful. Like, I got a lot of students that have never had a business, and they come from a corporate America, or they have, they have a job, they're getting paid hourly, and they're successful. But you have to develop yourself to be able to do this, because it ain't easy. And I'm not here to tell you it's easy. I'm here to tell you it's hard. Taylor had the cold call and put in the work. They had to go out and how many hours you got into the deal, you think?
I think we're saying it's about 8 hours worth of into the deal is what we have, from locating the deal, going out and driving it multiple times, making the offer, getting the contract signed, and then
showing the property.
So that was a different thing for us. So we ended up using a good friend. We got lucky because a good friend of ours, our buyers list was minimal at the time. So we had a friend of ours that works for a hard money lender, which he's actually here now listening and watching as we speak. So shout out to Nathaniel, because he helped us lock the deal down. A lot of countless hours working with him. But so he worked for a hard money lender. He said, hey, we have this 10,000 contact email blast that we can email your list out for you, your deal out for you. So after we exhausted all our contacts that we knew, and we had a couple offers right around when we sold it, but we're like, no, there's still another $20,000 spread that we could get. So we blasted it out to his people. So then, immediately a bunch of different offers, a bunch of different things that we weren't used to. So all these investors, everything was done through them. So we just really have to sit back and relax and say, hey, you have this. Which for me, it's kind of harder, because I want to do the negotiation. I want to find out, are they serious? Are they not? But it's different. They just say, hey, you have this offer. Do you want to take it? Do you not? They're the real deal. They've done so many deals with us. And then we go on showings. We have to show the house, which is kind of weird because we have like 15 people walk through these people's houses.
Which made us nervous at first because like especially when we were talking to you, that could make people actually not want to move forward just because they're like, well, am I going to have to overpay for this property? Yeah. But we, as we were walking people through, just made sure, again, like we're treating each person as an individual and getting to know them and learning what they want and where they're buying. So we're establishing these contacts with people that we know we can, if they're not going to buy this one, they're definitely going to buy one in the future.
Yeah. And I mean, through this process with the hard money lender guys, we made probably about 30 contacts with real investors, like guys that are big players in our areas that are buying 10, 15 deals,
And look, guys, like I said, Evo's a lot like me. Evo has a big business, When I got into this business, I had, 4 locations. I owned the chain of quick lube car wash and mechanic shops. I had 33 employees at one time, and I started this business on the side. I evolved into doing it full time. So even if you're watching this and you're like, man, I don't have the time. I didn't have the time when I first started it, and neither did Evo and Taylor.
He still doesn't have the time.
I still, But guys, it's because I can pick up other checks here from my regular businesses here, but it's big numbers on paper, but the margins are just slim. Yeah. And so now I look how much time I'm on top of a machine, writing checks, dealing with people like peeing on the side of the road, and then the lady saw it and the kids were in the car, like just some sort of crazy stuff.
It must have been in South Louisiana they were passing through. Probably.
I'm getting right now as we speak. I'm getting sued by 4 different people. Like it's just crazy. Like the business, like the stuff gets crazy just in general, and then your margins get thin. Like this here for me, like I said, for me to make $35,000. Let's say you make it 32.
What would it take you to make 32 net?
That's what I said. In my business, the number is about 150 to 180K to net
gross 32. Sales net to net 32.
So now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to keep that flow because that flow now I'm getting it greased and it's running and it's going. But if I was to exude the same energy into wholesaling, and I think that's what people have to see is, okay, I'm putting this much energy to this. But if I was to put this energy into this, how much more of a return could I have? Yeah. So what we're doing now is we're going to go ahead and line up and build a team into the wholesale side and the retail side for real estate. I can't even talk. Real estate, because we see that the return of our time is the freedom and the energy.
Well, you just said it. Yeah. You just said a key word, guys. He said return on time, right? For him to make 32 net, he has to do 150-something thousand sales. For me to make 32 net with my oil change, car wash, mechanic business, I'd probably have to. I'd probably have to do about the same, right? So he put 8 hours with just him and his wife, and they netted 32,000. That's why I love this business, because the return on time is ridiculous. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Crazy.
And look, guys, and I'll be honest with you, we're not going this. I'll check myself. I'm not going this as hard as I could, and that's what we're doing. When you get the taste of the money in your hand, it changes, and you know that it's a possible thing, it's a real thing. Yeah. It turns it into reality, right? It turns it into a tangible. You know it's possible. You know it's real. When you're like trying to get your first deal, you're like, oh man, is this real? Like, can this really happen?
It's working, yeah. Is our marketing working?
And then it's like Chris said, it's a people business and a marketing business. If you're not that great at marketing, okay, you can literally go at the top real estate investor, wholesaler guy in your area and find out who's his marketer. Hire them. See if you could maybe work for them for a week for free and be like, yo, man, I'm gonna work for you for free and take some pictures, do whatever you want and give me some marketing from do whatever you're willing to do. You can find out what the top people in your area, and that's what we did. We found out who our top wholesalers are. We're pretty much just copying them to a T right now, and trying to figure out what areas they're in, who they're going after. And I mean, I don't have to reinvent what they've already took 10, 20 years to discover. I'm just going to copy it. And so that's what we're doing now, and we're really going into it. So we got this deal. We locked it down at 200. Okay, ARV was 390, and we pitched it back to investors at 250. We had a lot of interest. We had some pushback, and we ideally figured out that the sweet spot number was, what was it, to like 240, 235. So we had a bunch of offers. To our advantage, the house, as the first show around that we showed it, the house, there was 2 houses down that had just gone on the market. So people were like, oh, is it going to sell? Yeah. Well, 3 days later, it sold for 370.
Wow.
So the
It was
day it
perfect.
sold,
Yeah.
like
We had
offers.
offers,
So
like
I was
not
walking.
even going inside, like literally sight unseen. People were
Yeah.
like giving us offers
Yeah,
on
so
the
the
house.
day it
So.
sold, then like I was walking with a lady, and then my buddy Nathaniel that's here, he's like, okay, but you got this other offer, and she's here. She wants to write a check in here, but then this other lady is offering more. So like, it's a little bit of luck and time, but we knew we were gonna get at least 235. And as we talked to Chris, that's still guys, that's a crazy number. If I got 10 grand, I was gonna be happy. Even 5 grand, because we hadn't spent like a crazy amount of time. And the thing is that at the end of the day, our people were going into foreclosure 2 months.
Yeah.
Their daughter didn't know, so she wasn't even stepping in to help. She wasn't going to step in because she didn't know, right? They were going to lose their house and have 9 years of bad credit, and now they're walking away with $30,000 of profit in their
Yeah,
pocket.
and he's still calling, being like, "Thank you so much. Like, you guys were awesome. You listened to like every
That's
need that we
a huge
had."
misconception of wholesaling, because people think,
Yes, it's huge.
oh, who's going to sell you their house, cheap and be happy about it? There
I
a ton of people.
I don't have any complaints.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
they're crying at the closing table, happy that you helped them.
Yeah.
Literally, we were there so many times where his wife would just start crying, like, and she was in tears just talking about the fact that she wasn't going to be able to come home to the same neighborhood, and like they raised all of their kids in that house. And she was like, but at the end of the day, I'm super grateful because you guys came in and saved us from something that ultimately could have been so much worse than what we're dealing with now. So, I mean, for people to give it that, that negative connotation, it's unfortunate because it really is a service. Like, and we feel on like blessed that we are able to do that for somebody else.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to
So
the MLS can't always do that. It can't. It's a reality, and as a realtor that there's houses that can't be put on the MLS.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So.
Or not even just not even just the condition of the house. The homeowners don't want to deal with realtors sometimes.
Right. Or financing. Like they wouldn't be able to get financing for the property because of how much was wrong with it. I mean, it's just like it would have sat there, and
out there that will not loan you money if there's enough distress on the property. They won't even find
exactly.
First-time homeowner.
Right. So
FHA.
I mean, those are no good on the MLS. So it needed to be a cash buy.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
Yeah. And we actually had to get a little creative because they didn't have money to go to their next property, so we had to do a rent back for them, and we transferred that over. I mean, we could have kept that $1,000, but we transferred that over to the other buyers. So that was another incentive for them. But we gave them the option of being able to put some money in their pocket and then go and get another house. So I mean, you have to learn, because that was a big deciding factor of us getting the deal. Well, how soon could we get our money, and could you maybe give us a rent back? A couple of the investors didn't want to give them a rent back.
Get creative.
Yeah, and so we had to solve that problem. And guys, I'll tell you right now that we were not the highest offer. They told us straight up, because I told them, look, I'm as straight as they come. I'm not going to come in here and, pardon my French, dick you around on your property, and we're going to give you the deal. If we're going to walk it, we're going to look with our contractor. Is this going to be a number? It's going to be a good number. I'm not going to keep going back and forth, just try to beat you up. I mean, I told him I got to protect myself. If I walk through the property and see that now the foundation's messed up, but we weren't the highest offer. So because of the way we portray trust and building a rapport and everything else like that, like I said, the money is not, I mean, they want the money, but it's not the key thing. They want to go ahead and get the deal with somebody that they can trust.
They want certainty. And they want knowing that, hey, this is the guy. I trust him. I like him, and I'm certain that this is going to be the guy.
Yeah, and that's what I told him multiple times. I said, look, what if you do get a higher offer? Are you sure that they're the real deal and they're going to be able to provide and buy this thing cash in 30 days? Or are they just selling you something a crazy number to try to get it on paper and then beat you down afterwards? I'm going to give you a good competitive number, and I'm good with that number. So in other words, know your numbers, know your market, know everything that goes entailed with that. So when you do make your offer, you come off and you're not also, sometimes you got to readjust, right? That just happens. You have to readjust your offer, but it's good to know your numbers so you're not, having a change up on the client. So that was, and this is the check. The check is here. We have it, so people know it says 32 because we had to give up 3,000 to Nathaniel. He jacked us up, man. Capital Washington Partners took our $3,000. That's messed up, man.
And that,
but it's
put it a little bit closer.
Hold on, I can't see it myself. That's
Wait, you're in the wrong.
Yeah.
So that
looks like 32 to me, Evo.
Y'all
I
having
just
or what?
printed it, man.
Or donuts?
What?
Steak dinner and donuts?
Oh yeah, where's the donuts? She actually had a box of donuts.
I
in
did.
there,
I don't know what
I'm
happened to
I'm not
them.
gonna lie to you.
Look, when we close the
She
deal, we
knew.
have we treat ourselves too.
You have to.
Taylor's legitimately telling me I'm getting fat, guys. It's pretty.
What I
upsetting,
love
but,
about y'all
you know,
is y'all work such like a good team. Like, you know, when he's in the car driving, I'm pulling up comps, and it's just a great team effort. And for instance, like this guy who bought this house, is he flipping it and then putting it back on MLS? So are you gonna list it, Taylor?
The person who actually bought it is an agent, so she's
But
gonna
that
end
is
up
an
listing
option.
it. Yeah.
Sometimes like
I'll
we
list it.
Yeah.
work deals, like we have a couple of deals right now that I'm selling to investors where that deal is, hey, if I sell you the deal, my wife has to list it. So we make it on the front end and the back end.
Right.
So we're
Great.
Yep. We actually had an offer where they had asked if I could list it, and we were like, of course, 100%. But it was much lower than the one we ended up getting.
And that was do you guys? I don't know how you guys do. Do you guys give them a point off since you're getting
we
it, or
lower
how do you
yes. And I work for a broker that lets me do that. That's what's great.
Yeah, and that's what I told him too. I said, look, if we're providing you the deal and we're selling it, I don't mind. And, you know, if his numbers have to work, if that's instead of losing it on the back end in the front of the house, we'll take a little bit of a shortcut on the back end when we sell it. I'm good with that. So we told him that. So yeah, that was actually going to be an option. You know, so I mean,
so guys, if you're watching this, you're just coming on and you feel like you want to get in this business, or you feel like maybe somebody should hear this message, tag them in this post. Let them come back and watch this. This is a real business, guys. I mean, I paid him like, how much, Evo? I paid you what, like $5,000?
We paid him in crawfish.
Zero. Yes, they paid me in crawfish.
Yes,
look,
crawfish.
Guys,
I'll take that any day.
Like like I said, I've been saying this for I'll show this is better so you guys can see. This is the real deal. It's $32,000. And you guys can see it. Oh, hold on, let me turn this back around here, Taylor. Where's it at? That was our first deal. I don't know, it's blurry. We can't, you know, I'm Brazilian. I can't work. But yeah, it's real. I mean, I've done many businesses from snow removal to car mechanics to running trucks, contracting. I'm getting into site development now. And I promise you, if you were to take this business scale, do really well at it. If you did, let's say you did whatever, you did one deal a month, or if you did, and each deal was $5,000, whatever, you're gonna make 60 grand, and you can scale that into a business with not a lot of effort if you know the basic fundamentals of human psychology and sales. Like if you understand those two things, if you're a really good people person and you love to talk like me, like I can't shut up, this is your business. Right? Like you have to know what your gift is, right? I mean, and that's what, like my gift is not a construction laborer, like looking at a site plan. Like I want to kill, when I have to read a site plan, I hate it. Like I want to kill somebody, but I have to do it for my job now. But I know that this is talking to people and negotiating and going out on appointments. Like that's my gift and that's my skill set. So like, if you're that kind of person, and even if you're not, you can teach yourself those skill sets, but you can, the people that, like you said, Chris says, and it's why it hits the nail on the head every time, skills get the deals, because the people that have the people skills are the ones that exceed in this business, because this is just what it's about.
So many
like people can cut. Yeah. And the people, even when they're going through the problems, they still can cut through the bullshit. So if, you know, if you're a guy that just like going in and slinging deals in your nice tuck suit, which we've seen wholesalers in their tuck suit, it's uncomfortable for them, right? Like it's not, you're not under. Oh yeah. There's wholesalers who with suits. Oh yeah.
You have to.
It's crazy. Yeah, when I had my e-trucking shirt or whatever, and I said, look, I'm a contractor, she's a realtor, we do this, we help people, this is just who we are. I mean, at the end of the day, you're not gonna look like a bum, right? Your first impression really is everything. And they say,
but they want to know that they can relate to you.
Yeah, they want to know that you're relatable and that you can get their problem solved. At the end of the day, can you just solve that problem, and can you do it? And I can tell you guys, to me, this was always like a foo-foo fantasy, like real estate is for other people. And so foo-foo. But no, it's a legitimate.
No, that's not.
No,
I don't know where that came from.
I have a contractor that says that Taylor keeps eating foo-foo food, like fancy food.
Okay. Fancy, highfalutin people.
Yeah.
Except the donuts.
Except the donuts. Yeah. It's a people business, guys. And no matter what market, and this is one thing that I heard Ben say the other day, it does not matter what market you're in. Like me and Taylor for the longest time, right? When we first started doing this, and can we move because there's a big glare in our face. Sorry. When we first started doing this, we didn't have traction. Like we were sending, calling, and blah blah blah, and trying to find deals. We're like, oh man, we can't find any deals. We can't find any leads or whatever. Like it's just not working. And we're like, well, it's our market. Our market is just too hot. We just we started making excuses why it wasn't going to work in our market or why our market is not good for that. We wanted to go to another market. But, I mean, obviously there are markets that are better than others, but it's how much
how do you adjust to it?
How do you adjust and how much are you willing to stay persistent? And that's what we learned. Like being able to
ultimately dealing with human beings though, like, so we're all pretty much the same. We all have problems no matter what state you live, no matter how hot the market is, you still got to have issues.
Yeah.
You're going to have issues, and you're always going to have the deaths in the family, the divorces, the foreclosures, or people that just need to move. We live in DC, which is a very fast government moving job. Or now that Amazon's coming here, people are moving in and out all the time. So people might need to be on a time crunch. And I promise you, equity to some of these people is not everything. There's people, they don't care. I mean, like there's people that are making $500,000 a year. They're making not a lot. They just want to get out.
Evo just said it, guys. Evo just said it. You listen to what he just said. Equity is not everything. Some people come up to me and say, how dare you, Chris, buying people's houses at 60 cents on the dollar? How dare you? And I'm saying, what do you mean, how dare me? It's like, well, you don't feel like you're ripping people off? I'm like, man, no, I don't feel like I'm ripping them off. Like, they know, they don't care. But they even tell me up front, listen, I know I'm taking a loss. I don't care. I just want the house sold, and I want it to go away fast.
It's just like a car.
It's like trade.
Have you trading your car?
Yeah,
you
like
just
have you
want to
ever?
Get rid of it
That's what.
and get a new one.
Yeah.
There's no way you're buying houses at 60 cents on the dollar, 50 cents on the dollar. I said, dude, have you ever traded in your car? And you're like,
like
we lost $10,000 on our car
trade. I
trade.
didn't even care. I wanted
we
a
just
new
wanted,
car.
we wanted a car.
Yeah.
And we lost 10 grand on it.
Yeah.
Like how many people? If you trade in your car, you're trading out equity for a fast sale. So meaning I could have put that car, her Suburban, her 2017 Suburban, on the street for sale. By owner, it probably would have taken 2 or 3 months to sell it. But
headaches.
I traded it in. I took a loss to make my problem go away. There's no different than what we're doing with houses and real estate. It's the same principle.
Right. The same thing.
The same, and Chris, that's so right. Because if people don't want to deal with the Craigslist guy calling you at midnight or whatever, it's the same thing with the house. They don't want to deal with the picky buyers of like, oh, we'll fix this floor, or I don't like the crown, or the window's leaking here. They want to go to the next house, or if they do have a problem, they really do have to get out quick. But there are, like you said, there are people that are willing to trade equity for time, and that's what this is, guys. I cannot reiterate enough. The people that are watching, this is a real legitimate business, and it's doable. You don't have to have a crazy skill set. You just have to get out there and get somebody that knows, so they can kind of teach you and guide you. Like, we have Chris. This is a mentor. This guy is the real deal. He's just humble. He's straightforward. Like, he's not like, oh, I'm too busy, or I'm not like the dude is just as straight as they come. And that's what we chose to be our mentor. It doesn't have to be Chris. It could be somebody else.
No, it has to be Chris.
But we know that.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I'm pitching other people. But I mean, at the end of the day, Chris is the real deal. And we really, I call Chris, and the dude is doing a bunch of other things, and most of the time it's like first ring, Chris answers, no matter like what time. And so that I like, we were lost in a contract. I'm like, hey Chris, what do we do with this part of the contract? Hey, do this, this, and this. And you can't buy that. Like, that in itself is your shortcutting time, because we could go through the mistake of messing up the contract and maybe losing the deal. And then what if I lost? Like, if I lost, so we paid Chris $25,000, okay? But what if I would have messed up the contract to try to do it on my own and lost a $35,000 deal?
Yep.
Like, it's the perspective, like what your perspective is of what is expensive and what's worth and not worth your time.
On the money, it's like, dude, it's peanuts. Like,
what do you pay to go to college?
Yeah, you pay
exactly.
$1.5 trillion of student debt right now that could be paid off.
It's insane.
There's two I think $200 billion that's defaulting right now as we speak in student college debt, because they went to school, they got sold the bill of goods thing, and you got to go to college because your parents say that, and an advertisement says that, and half people are not even making a lot of money. They can't even service the debt. They can't even pay off their student loans. But then you got a guy who's an experienced entrepreneur like me, who charges anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000 to give you a skill set that'll help you make millions of dollars over time.
And everybody needs to know about real estate. This is
everyone.
Last year a lifetime.
Yeah. take your money out of the stock market, invest it in real estate,
And that's what's
it's way more scalable.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Now, you
That's what's been super rewarding for us, like so far too, is not only obviously are we growing in this together and being able to accomplish our goals of getting involved in real estate, but now we have like really close friends and family members that are like, hey, how do I learn? Like, you guys are clearly doing something different. Like, what do we do? How do we do it? Like, this is awesome. And just being able to help people that are like near and dear to us, like actually improve their life and do something greater. Like, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. And I mean,
and guys,
just be able to show that it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And it ain't going nowhere, guys. It's real estate. Technology can change. People still need a shelter to live in, a home.
Well, let's talk about the whole baby boomer.
Yeah, the baby boomer generation is all retiring right now. The biggest demographic in world history. I talked about that in my book, The Source of the Deal. If you don't have a copy, pick it up on Amazon, or you can get your free copy at thesourceofthedeal.com. It's a free ebook. I have a whole chapter about this. The baby boomer generation is the biggest demographic in world history. If you don't know who the baby boomer generation is, when all the people came back from World War II, they had a lot of babies to work the farms. Well, those babies are all retiring right now. They're all going into nursing homes, selling their houses, or they're dying off. And I say that's such a hateful dying off.
It's sad.
They're passing. They're passing away.
It's a real problem.
They're passing away.
You turn the light on.
So what happens is all these people are leaving their houses that are 40, 50, 60-year-old houses that are in disrepair. They're not updated. They can't sell them on MLS real fast, and they don't. The children that are inheriting them don't really necessarily want to deal with it. They just rather sell it quick. They want to be done with it. So wholesaling will be good for at least 15, 20 years, and not even just wholesaling from its, just in terms of pure wholesaling, just learning how to source deals, how to find deals, once you become a wholesaler, you don't buy anything for retail no more. Like with cars. I'm always like deals. Like everything I do, like I want it at wholesale prices. I want it by a cheap. Programs your mind on how to find deals.
We have a hard time giving to investors now because we're like, let's just keep it. We invested a lot of money back to just holding our deals.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing is, us, since we are on the contracting side, if we find a deal that's juicy enough where we can keep it and just kind of touch it up when we go into the wholesale side, or if we want to do a full reno, I mean, the spread is only to our best advantage, right? Like the spread, we're always going to have the best spread no matter what. Like
we're in first position.
Right. And
so if you do, you have options. If you do love flipping houses and you like doing the renovation side, like my dad has a hard understanding of why we're not fixing these properties. And I've already told him, I said, look, dude, I'm already crazy enough. I don't want to bang hammers with a bunch of deals.
Yeah.
I would rather do 2 or 3 of these deals a month than do one that drags out for 3 to 5 months to make the same money. Right. So, I mean, but that's all it's
return on time, Evo, like we were talking earlier. Would you rather make $35,000 with 8 hours of work, or do you want to make $80,000 with 2,000 hours of work? I'd rather make the $35,000 with 8 hours of work.
Right.
And this is the crazy thing. And we did the math of what the investor is going to make on our deal, because she's using a hard money lender and everything else like that. Guys, she's going to make good money, but it's not going to be a lot more than what we made. Maybe 10 to 15,000 more than what we made. It's still good. An average flip is what, 55 to 60 grand nowadays. No, she's good. She's all right. But I mean, she knows what she's going to make. We went into numbers with her and everything else like that.
Yeah, some people.
But you see,
I do.
Yeah, in our area though, we talked to the title company. He's like, dude, a $35,000 assignment
is nothing.
He's like, don't worry.
He's like,
about
I did one last week that was like 110 grand. I was like, okay, no problem.
So like, we were scared because we were like, shoot, we need to double close it.
Yeah.
But just the way our market is, he's saying until you get to like 60 grand is when, so it's a larger, we might not have as many volume of deals, but the volume might be a little bit better, on the spread might be better. But I mean, that's like the size of the spread for the wholesale deal. But yeah, I mean, it's, first off, we got to thank Chris because it's been really, it's been great. Chris told us everything we needed to know, like going through the process.
Yeah.
Hey, do this, do that, guiding us through, really holding our hand. And I told Chris it up. I was like, yo, Chris, I'm going to need you to hold my hand.
I don't do the work for you. I want.
No.
I'm not going to do it for you. I'm going to hold your account.
Yeah.
I had somebody complain to me the other day saying, this, and I was like, dude, you got to do the work. Like, I'm here to give you the, you still got to go out and do it.
No, guys, this is the thing is, you have to be willing to go out and sacrifice your time. I mean, there's no other way. You have to go out. Taylor was either banging. If I wasn't, like, I could get pissed and be like, oh, Chris, I haven't done a deal in 6 months, but I haven't picked up the phone. I haven't called anybody. I haven't door knocked. I haven't done anything. It doesn't matter. Like, if you're not out picking up the phones or door knock, the deal's not just going to come.
Right.
Like, you're not just going to find a distressed buyer at your house.
Yeah.
Like, they're just not going to come to you. So you have to be willing to do what it takes. Be willing to do whatever it takes. And that's, I mean, it's not that hard, guys, to go through the process.
It's simple, but it ain't easy. But I mean, now that the hardest part I find with coaching, I've coached hundreds of students now, is just getting past that first deal. Once you get past that first deal, your mindset just opens up.
Yeah, and it's like, wow,
right.
Like, let's do more.
Let's do more, and I can do it again.
Yeah.
And it's like
deal's not drugs, but it feels like a drug.
Yeah.
No,
doesn't feel like a drug.
It's like crack. No, we're gonna be literally about to hunt. I've been blowing this guy up about this other deal. Like, we already sent him a little, letter, saying it was so nice to meet him and meet his son. Like, so, we're just ready for the next one.
I think it also comes in, like, it's not just going out and getting that, talking to the person for the first time. It's like, stay on top of them. Like, just keep following up. Like, this past person that we went out on an appointment last weekend, like, we've called him at least like 10 times, talked to him, texting him, like, sent him a letter thanking him for his time, and like, it was great meeting his family. Because here, with the amount of people that are reaching out, like, you have to stand out and you have to be different in some way. And for us, it's just being on top of that contact, and then just making sure we're establishing those relationships with people, and just being one step ahead of everyone else that's in the same line.
Yeah. And a side note is one thing. So after we left that house to go see, there was a bunch of open houses. We wanted to see comps from that new wholesale deal we're looking at. And we met a realtor, and he said, hey, I have this house that's been on the market forever. I don't think we're going to be able to sell it. I'm actually going to give you a call. If we can't sell it, maybe there's something you could do for these homeowners. They really want to get out of it. And and I told him, yeah, dude, we'd even throw you a referral fee. So that's something that we've really been undermining, is using the realtors to our advantage. Yeah. Yep. So you can just hit up some realtors and, hey, look, if there's some what's it called, listings that maybe you don't want to do, there's not a lot, we'll take them. If it's a crappy, house in somewhere that there's not a lot of people or whatever,
or if it's time sensitive,
or time sensitive, let us take care of it. We'll give you a referral fee. At the end of the day, the realtor wants this money, right? Not just going to give you cookies and, so that's the biggest thing, is that, use your realtors, your local realtors to your advantage. See if they have anything, or if they know an area, your realtors usually work with investors. They say, hey, my investors are all buying in this area, so you can know what area you can target for your marketing. Yeah. And that was really an eye-opener for us.
And on the wholesale side too, like, I sometimes sell as a pocket listing to all the agents, because I have that connection of all those buyers. So when it comes to wholesaling, you have that whole list of buyers right in your pocket as a realtor. So that's just a whole nother part of, I think it's great having the wife, it would be great if Evo was a realtor, but I think it works better as the secondary, as the wife, because it doesn't get as hairy that way. Sorry, our kids are big now.
Arthur's here.
This is our kid. Hey!
He's trying to steal my phone. Hey, is he
what's
can
up?
we hold him?
Hey. What up? Where's your back tuck?
But how awesome was it to come and do one-on-one with us? I feel like that is so real to people when you actually see it done.
Yeah. I mean, it's more money, guys. I mean, to come hang out with me and see it done in person, in the flesh, but it gives you more reality and on understanding exactly how I do it. And I mean, having a course is one thing, and just going through a course, but actually seeing it in person is another thing.
Definitely. And I think for me, I'm the kind of person that has to be in it to fully understand it, where Evo's like, I'm just going to go out and do it. Like, he doesn't need anything to push him. For me, it's like being in that environment and actually seeing something take place. And we saw everything that weekend that we were there with you. I mean, like, everything from A to B in a transaction. And so it was really good for me, because I was like, wow, this is real. and Chris is really good at what he does. And it just gives you that affirmation of like, I could do this. Like, I know that I could.
Yep.
And I mean, and that's not, let's not get it twisted. Chris, we didn't just talk wholesale.
Yeah.
It's a full package. We're talking
It's a
about
lifestyle,
life. We're talking about,
because I'm gonna be through with you guys. I'm not like most people. Like I don't hang out with people. I don't watch football games and drink beer. Dude, I'm an entrepreneur. Like it's my religion. Like this is what I do. I'm a pure blood entrepreneur. I eat, sleep, and poop. Entrepreneurship.
Well, the eating part is very doubtful. Chris might eat once a week. He might eat some cashews and
solar
peanuts.
power and deals.
Yeah, so if you guys do come on a one-on-one with Chris, like Ben said,
pack yourself a granola bar.
Pack yourself a little snack box.
Okay.
Taylor,
that's right. Taylor was in a struggle bus. Guys, you come hang out with me. I forget that. See, I don't eat. Like I fast all the time. I eat maybe one meal a day.
Now he's got me doing it, which
yeah, she's actually lost like 12 pounds. But
that's awesome.
But I don't eat, and I forget that my students want to eat.
I forget that.
But then when it's really time to eat, we make you some good home good.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah, it was amazing.
Hold on. I got y'all gonna be impressed. Hold on. I got to get y'all a little something.
I can't hear you. Oh, guess crawfish?
Dude, that's got to be some Chinese crawfish. That's not Louisiana crawfish.
Be careful with that.
Louisiana fresh crawfish.
Okay, Louisiana.
Oh, it does say Louisiana fresh crawfish?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
That's probably from Catahoula.
Probably my cousin's picking up that.
Make sure it's not Chinese.
Yeah, that's a good point. Not Chinese crawfish.
Don't buy Chinese crawfish, guys. We only get homemade Louisiana crawfish.
Homegrown crawfish.
No, it's homegrown. But no, I mean, we talked about everything when we went down, and Chris, you and I know, and the people that invest, in themselves know that what you're charging people is really, it's a steal of a deal, guys. Like I said, let's say I spent 25 grand. I got a $35,000 deal. We have another one in less than a year. Like what investment gives you that, right? I mean, most investments don't give you that. I mean, if you guys really want to invest in somebody that's doing it, that's like, look, I was there. I sat in a 1-week seminar or 3-day seminar for a $60,000 program where they just taught you, real estate is really easy. You can do it from China.
Send a couple emails.
You can just send emails. You don't have to go out. And I was like, your bullshit meter goes off right off the back. If there's anybody telling you that there's easy money out there, it's either not true or you're going to jail. There's the only two options I've seen. Like I'm just saying, like.
Oh Lord! I didn't even think about that.
I went to jail this weekend.
He's not lying.
What?
I'm not lying.
I have the photo to prove it.
You said went to jail.
You're gonna have to fill us in on that.
I went to jail this weekend. I've never been to jail. I'm not a criminal. I don't do anything illegal. I was going to New Orleans, a soccer tournament. I know this is off topic, but you have to tell the story because you talk about going to jail. We were going to a soccer tournament for my little kids.
And we're like the most ethical humans on the planet.
We'll vouch for that.
We went down a different interstate. We went down Highway 90 instead of I-10 to go to New Orleans, which we don't usually go. And we had to pass through a small town. So the speed limit goes from 70 to 55, and I didn't notice because it's a major intersection. And I was doing 81, and a cop pulled me over, and he's like, do you know why I'm pulling you over?
In his defense, we got a brand new car, and you can't really tell when you're going 81.
Yeah, but anyway, he said, you know why I'm pulling you over? I said, because I was playing on my phone. I said, because I was playing on my phone. He goes, you were doing 81 into 55. I said, 55? I said, it's 70 miles an hour. He goes, no, man, you're in Patterson, Louisiana. It's 55. He goes, I'm going to have to take you to jail for going 20 miles over the speed limit.
Wanted to put him in the cop car.
So I had to.
What?
Then they wanted $700 cash.
Long story short, it was like I was in Mexico. Like we had to go pull cash out of ATMs.
I thought they were gonna murder some of my family members or something.
But
it was that bad.
Anyway, yeah, I went to jail.
That's crazy.
That's
hilarious.
You see a snapshot of me in Patterson, Louisiana, going to jail. It's because
it was because he was trying to get to his kid's soccer game, and then we missed the soccer game.
That's so
my
funny.
God. He didn't let you off easy. You didn't use. That's crazy. You didn't use some of those sales for him to let you off. Come on, man.
Tried.
Come on, sir.
Deals didn't get the deals that time. It got me. I was being a dick.
No, We were just shocked that
I was like,
that's
dude,
how
I said,
it
you're
works.
not taking me. I told her, I said, I'm not riding your cop car and I'm not going to jail.
We were like, just give us the ticket. We'll pay
I
for
said,
it
give me
later.
I said, give me the ticket and I'm out of here. I said, I'm not a criminal. Give me my ticket. Let me go. I'm in a hurry. And it pissed them
And they
off.
were like, no,
Right.
like you're coming to jail. We're like, what?
That is wild.
That's ridiculous. Man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Anyway, but I don't
That's funny.
Oh
clean
my God.
record, so they better pull it off. So it's not a big deal. But anyway,
He's really not.
it's on my bucket list. But you know, 2 things happened to me this weekend, guys, that never happened to me before. I made a Facebook post about me and Patty's relationship that went viral. It's at 4 million.
That's awesome.
I saw that.
4 million
Insane.
views. It's been shared 35,000 times and it hadn't stopped. It's still going crazy. All over. People are inboxing Patty from like Virginia or Ohio, California. Say, hey,
Alaska.
is that? I seen you on a Facebook post. You know, so it's crazy.
Yeah,
The
that's
Facebook
crazy.
post
That's so funny.
viral, and I got arrested in the same week. So
Yeah.
Wow, meant
But
to be.
Dang, that's awesome. Great week.
off the beat. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know we're talking about real estate wholesaling, guys. Sorry. That's anyway. So back to Evo and Taylor here. Listen, this is an attainable business. It's real. You can do this. It is a lot of work. It's not easy. Understand that you're going to put in some work, but it's a really solid business. I've done a lot of different businesses, and this is a good business to have. And even as a side hustle, like, because Evo's not letting go his business. Why would he let go? He has. He's making good money, but you know, his wife's a realtor, and he can do this. She can still keep her realtor's license and do this on the side. Let's say she does a deal every month that makes anywhere from 15 to 30 grand a month on one deal. That's an extra 300 grand. 200 grand on the side,
A year,
and with not having to hire, you know, all kind of, employees. You don't have to get a building, a brick and mortar building. You don't have to borrow money from the bank. Like, Evo, what did it cost you to operate your business? Payroll.
Yeah, right.
Too much.
A lot.
A lot. You know, payroll, insurance. I mean, our insurance is about almost up to 100 grand a year just in insurance. So, you know, there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of moving in other businesses. And guys, like if you were to, you know, let's say right now I have about 15 employees. If I had 15 acquisitions and sales people into the wholesaling side, oh my God, like, you know, it would be insane. So you understanding at the end of the day is you understanding, you could put, you know, there's like I have some laborers out there, and I'll tell you, right, I have a guy that this guy will work Monday through Sunday, dead 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock, nonstop. But the way you exude your energy, where you put your energy, doesn't mean that you're going to be the most successful. And I see that if you put your energy in this business compared to other businesses, the return on your time and the return on an investment is just, I mean, it's insane. And I think that if realtors are not doing this business, they're crazy as well, because this is a great opportunity for realtors and people that are in real estate. There's people that are in real estate for years, and all they do is buy and sell houses. They never get into the profitable side of real estate.
And I think the reason why a lot of people miss it is because they don't understand it. Even me being a realtor here, I was just ignorant. I didn't know anything about it. And 2, people have this like same thing. They have this idea that like there's something wrong with it or you're doing a disservice, when in reality, you're just offering another solution to an issue that you may not be able to solve as an agent. So for me, it's like, why wouldn't I open that other door if it's another opportunity for my seller or my client to get the money that they deserve? Like, it doesn't make any sense when people knock it. I'm doing them a service.
Yeah, you got.
And let's be real.
Real quick, you got all these people day trading, you know, on the stock market, you know, buying low, selling high. Essentially, that's what you're doing when you're doing this with real estate. You're just day trading real estate. You're buying at a margin, and you're selling at another margin, right? And you're just keeping the in between. It's arbitrage. It's just day trading real estate instead of day trading the stock market. It's no different. You're just doing it with a physical asset with different rules and a different game and different.
It's actually more understandable.
I would say it's way more understandable. And it's like I wrote about this in my book. It's like the Amazon of real estate. You're matching motivated sellers with cash buyers, solving a problem.
And
it's a tangible asset too. Like, that's why I like real estate. Like, I personally, I don't have any money in the stock market because I don't have the time to invest and look at trends and see everything else.
A lot of times it's hard to know really what you're doing when it goes to
and these big companies have people making a lot of money that's what all they do that you're competing against. They're all day long, all they're doing is watching trends and looking and looking and looking. And you, for an hour, how are you with 30 minutes of your time a day, are you going to understand the trends? Maybe you do, but and it's not tangible. Like, look at Sears. Look at people that had money into Sears. Where are they? Or like things in the stock market come and go, and they're gone. Especially nowadays with companies acquiring other companies or shutting stuff down.
Going bankrupt. How many other businesses are going bankrupt? We talked about last night.
Gap is shutting down.
Gap is shutting down.
Payless went down.
A lot of retail is just going online.
Radio Shack, Sears, Payless. There were Toys. Like, could you imagine Toys R Us, the biggest toy
distributor?
They didn't believe in the internet, and they didn't believe in the transition. So, like, there's a lot of stuff that are, going out, and that's why I like real estate, because it's tangible, it's there, like, you can touch it, like, and the thing is that I always say is land is the only thing you can't create more in the world. Like, you can't create more land.
Technology can't disrupt it. I mean, I don't want to say it can't, but it's been fundamentally sound for hundreds upon hundreds of years. Like, it's not like technology only makes it easier for guys like me and you to get into this business, not necessarily wipe us out. Like my business in the industry I was in with the oil change and mechanic shop, it's getting harder and harder because the dealerships are making it so complicated. An independent mechanic can't work on some of these you have to go back to different oil changes where you used to change all every 3,000. Now you're changing all every 10 to 15. So technology disrupted the industry I was in and pretty much almost put me out of business, but I got into real estate, which helped me transition. But otherwise, dude, that business is going to be disrupted completely, along with in the next 20 years, so many people are going to go out of business because of technology. Real estate, they are saying real estate is not going nowhere.
Everybody always will.
And going back to your coaching, Chris, like I said, we went up there for the one-on-one. That was in itself. Well, let's just start off. Most coaches don't even allow one-on-one. They don't have time.
Yeah.
Right. Not saying that Chris has the time, but it's because most of these coaches are not in that business. So they would have to take time out of their speaking gigs to go and show you real estate. Well, Chris is part of his life, so he's just going to plug you into part of his life, and he's going to show you around.
Man, you just jumped in the truck. Hey, let's go. Like, it's very organic.
Like there was some guns in the back seat.
Yeah, 47s, crawfish shaped today.
You get the full experience, the real deal. So I mean, and at the end of the day, we talk mind, body, spirit. We talk not just only real estate. We went into other. And look, guys, Chris doesn't just know real estate. Obviously, if you guys watch him and follow him, he's really into mobile home parks and everything else like that. And he knows buy and hold, single family. So, like, you're not just buying into wholesale, right? There's other aspects of real estate that Chris is also very knowledgeable about. And I'm not just tooting his own horn. I'm just being realistic. Like, I could have paid $60,000 for a program that I would have never been able to have a one-on-one with anybody. Like, the people I called and asked, so who are these people that are going to be answering the phones? How much do they make? Not because I care about how much they make, but they're these people. If somebody's making $35,000 a year, they're not going to be motivated to really help you. Let's be honest, right? Yeah. Like, these guys are picking up phones and helping you through your deals. Like, they might be able to help you, but they're not motivated. It's not their name or their company. Like, if Chris, when he answers the phone, it's his name, it's his company on the line. He really cares genuinely about his students and everything else like that. So it was well worth the money, and then you get the group that you're around and the people that are around the group, the wholesale group that we get to, we have a little inside group within our.
Skeleton was legit. It was off.
It was awesome. It was so great.
I mean, that was the other thing. We get Skeleton, we got 10X, which, GrowthCon, which I had the flu for. Chris, by the way, I want a refund on 10X because I had the flu. So I mean, in general, guys, obviously Chris, I mean, he's well worth your time and your money. And if you're looking to get into wholesaling, drop off, DM one of us. Like, ask us what the experience is like. And I can pretty much promise you, almost 100% will have a great thing to say. And most of the people, if they're really doing it, not bullshitting, sitting on their house, if they're really doing this, putting time, putting effort, going after deals, cold calling or door knocking, they're gonna get a deal. If they're putting in the time and following the steps that Chris shows, which is not that complicated, it's not rocket science, you will get a deal. We even have Dylan, right, that was doing deals from Japan or whatever.
Japan, yeah.
Yeah, so
it's
just how bad you want it, right, guys?
He was in Alabama.
Cold calling.
It's crazy.
Insane.
It's crazy because most people are gonna say, "Oh no, it's not possible." And look, don't get me wrong. You're gonna hit a bump where you're gonna be like, "Shit, this is not working." Reassess it. Call somebody in that circle. Put yourself that has a better perspective, or the group. That's the good thing about the group, right? Because you can be like, "Hey, group, I'm in a rut right now. I can't find any deals. Maybe I'm doing this. I'm doing that." And you as a human, when you get frustrated, you block yourself out from fresh ideas or from other things. So it's good to get to the group, and then the group will bring you back in. Oh, hey, try this. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to try that. Like, let me try this. And that's kind of how it was with us. We were kind of getting like, oh, these deals, these leads, and then they're like, hey, try this, and then just boom, it happens. So don't give up. I think the persistency within the wholesaling is key, because you're going to learn yourself and learn the market.
Yeah.
You want it to be hard, guys. You get paid in relation to how hard and how big of a problem you solve. You know, the bigger problem you solve, the harder it is, the more money you make. It's as simple as that. So anybody can go wash a car, guys. It's easy to do. That's why it doesn't pay that well, right? Anybody can do certain things that are just lower and not necessarily lower end, but just easy jobs, right? So you want it to be hard. You want to get past the barriers. It's going to suck. Embrace the suck and push through. The guys that push through make big bucks. Simple as that. Do you have the push through? If you don't, no big deal. Stay at your job.
And over time, it doesn't get as hard because
it's
perfected your skill.
Yeah, it's like
and
anything.
It becomes easy.
That's right.
It's just a game.
Yep. For us.
Second motion.
Yep. I mean, for us guys, like we've mastered this. Like we own the market where we work here in Lafayette, Baton Rouge. Like we're killing it. We've expanded to Panama City Beach, Florida. We had 2 closings Friday in Florida, like 4 states away. We're opening up Mobile, New Orleans. Like, so that's a barrier for me, right? Like that makes me uncomfortable because like I'm about to get in 6 markets. I've never done that, but I'm pushing through it, and it's going to be hard, and it's going to probably suck. I might lose some money here and there, but if it works out, I'm going to make a shit ton of money. You see, solving a lot of problems, right? So anyway, guys, any final words before we anything you want to say, Taylor and Evo?
No, I mean, anything.
Where can they follow you at?
Just shut up. All right, well, you guys can follow us on Instagram. I'm Evo at 3.
No, you're Brazilian entrepreneur.
Oh, yeah, Brazilian entrepreneur. I don't even know. But Brazilian entrepreneur, you can follow us on Instagram. Facebook, it's just Evo Pereira.
Or Taylor Pereira.
Pereira. Also, you can go on Pereira Real Estate. We're going to start dropping some knowledge bombs on there as well. And just, guys, I mean, if you guys want to see what we're doing our day-to-day, we're straightforward. I annoy the shit out of Taylor most of the time. And then we get serious and drop on some stuff as we're doing our day-to-day. Like we're going to share what we're doing with our deals and how it's happening, and, kind of whatever nuggets we can give that we've learned. I mean, in other words, to recap all of this is a real tangible thing. $35,000 with one deal, which is more money than most people make in a year, after taxes, so it's a real thing, and it's tangible and it's possible. You can do it. If I can do it with a full-time business and Taylor with a full real estate business, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
And now we're just going to keep rocking and rolling and, keep on with the train.
Awesome. Well, guys, I appreciate you, Taylor, Evo. I'm super proud of y'all. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Y'all remind me of me and Patty, young, hungry, and just freaking full of fire and passion.
And just good people.
Yeah, y'all just good people. Y'all going to do big things, and
you guys too.
Part of you guys' journey and momentum going into the future. So,
and that's what makes him a good coach. And he won't say this, but generally, he really cares.
Genuinely.
He wants every student to do amazing, and he will do everything he needs to do to make that happen. And
I won't do it for you, but
he won't do it for you, but he's going to give you every bit of knowledge you need to get it done if you put in the effort.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Chris has been like, there's times where Chris will answer the phone without it even ringing. I'm like, bro, when you do
He's like on
next
top
to
of
your
it
ear,
all the time.
he's ready.
It's not just speed the lead. I mean, I apply the same principles to my students. Like I'm there, I don't do anything but service students and do deals. That's all I do.
Yep.
I don't do anything else. So,
and that's why you're a killer. So we appreciate you and Patty being in our lives. It's been, you guys are awesome. I'm not saying this because we're getting off the phone and we'll never talk to each other, but but no, I mean, you guys are, honestly, you guys are awesome. You guys are a great example of, for people that are youngly married. You guys are rock stars, and we love that we're part of y'all's, journey as well. So
awesome.
just ready for the next.
Awesome. Well, keep rocking and rolling, and hit me up when you need some advice on the next deal. I'm sure I'm going to do big things, and
For sure.
good luck. And
Let's do it. Now you guys got to come down to DC and visit
I would
us,
love
right?
to go. I've
Yeah,
actually
we
never been there.
definitely need to go for sure.
Yeah.
Come on down. The house is ready for you whenever you
Oh.
are.
You got to cook us Brazilian food, huh?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
or
There's
we need
no
to
crawfish
or we need to
up here.
just go on a Brazil trip. A Brazil trip would be great as well.
Oh, I'm up for that.
You know. All right, guys. Well, we'll see y'all later. All right.
Take care.
Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye. All right, guys. That was Evo and Taylor. So understand, listen, I'm not sitting here telling you it's easy. Like they told you, I told you it's hard. It's going to be some work, but it's tangible. You can do it. It's real. It's achievable. I do it every day. I make a lot of money doing it. I got a lot of students making money. If you're interested, and you don't have money, just follow me, right? Implement some of the strategies I teach and I talk about. I have a YouTube, get the book, thesourceofdeal.com on Amazon, $15. Or you can get, my free copy on ebook, thesourceofdeal.com. Follow me at Real Estate Rood on Instagram. Go to my YouTube channel. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tons of free content. Listen, and I am dropping tons of nuggets, not just on wholesaling, just life in general, marriage, freaking entrepreneurship, mobile home park investing, everything that I feel like I know about, I'm giving you advice on, right? And I ain't gonna give you advice on anything that I haven't already done or have been successful at. So anyway, if you're just coming on, go back, rewatch it, share and invite.
We
And
need to answer some of the questions
what-
when we
what
come
was
back
it?
because
Yeah.
we can't see the
I
comments.
can't see the
on this
comments for
screen,
some reason.
So we'll come
yeah.
back after and answer
Yeah.
any questions
But if you're
you have.
interested in my program and you do have the money, it costs money. It's an investment like anything else. You got to invest in yourself. Anybody that's going to try to say, oh, look, you shouldn't spend money on a mentor, it's probably because they've never hired a mentor and they don't know the value of it. I've had mentors my whole life. That's why I am in the
The
position I am.
value on the course is way more than the monetary
Yeah.
value we charge.
Dude, it's one deal. One
yeah,
deal. Get over
it's
yourself.
crazy.
Like,
Yeah.
if you can't do that, then stick to your job. keep working for the man. And there's nothing wrong with that.
You have to be open to learning.
Yeah. So, chrisrood.com. Hit me up, and let's get you rocking and rolling. Peace.